Hi there. My name is Ashbaclore ASMR, and I'm so sorry if you can hear my chair. Today's video is a bit of a strange one. I was actually getting ready to go to bed, and I had this idea for a video, and I had to make it before I went to bed because I knew if I didn't, then I would lose it in the morning. So here we are in the middle of the night, and I'm making this video. It'll be tomorrow's upload. So right now is it the second? So this will be the third's upload. So when you see this video, it'll be the third. At least if you watch it when it comes out. Anyways, I figured tonight we do a bit of a strange video. I've got some of the weirdest items I own that could be trigger inducing. Tingle inducing. Triggers that could be tingle inducing. This video's a disaster, isn't it? Gonna roll with it. So, I've got 5 items that are some of the strangest or coolest items I own, depending on what you think of them. I think we should just start out with, I guess, the largest object. The one you saw in the thumbnail. Yes, you saw correctly. This is a bowling pin. A real bowling pin. And yes, it actually does say happy birthday on it. It's got balloons drawn on it with a Sharpie. And I actually got this from I had my birthday party hosted at a bowling alley, and they had this as like a display for me, and they let me take it. And of all the things I own, this is definitely not one I'm going to get rid of because it's a freaking bowling pin. It's awesome. And not only that, I actually used to bowl, not professionally. I was a kid, but I was actually pretty decent. I haven't bowled in years, so chances are I wouldn't be good anymore. But actually, I have awards. I had to prove it. I used to bowl. So this is just kind of one of those things that kind of reminds me of my past. Kind of reminds me of the good old days, if you will. Actually, yeah, it's actually just got like a stand on it, like a trophy stand. So they just screwed this stand in the real bowling pin. This is real. This is wood. I think it's got plastic coating over it, but it is wood. Yeah. So it's a real bowling pin. So let's do some ASMR with it. Why not? I guess I don't really have to show the happy birthday side. I feel like it'd be kind of weird if I did. It's obviously not in the thumbnail. So this is a bowling pin. A bowling pin. Are you kidding me? How sick is this? It's a real bowling pin. So I didn't know if this was a real bowling pin because it didn't feel like wood. But actually, how they make bowling pins is they start off with a wood design and they coat it in plastic, I think, to keep it from. They don't just paint it; they actually coat it in plastic. I think if my research is correct, someone will correct me in the comments. Let me know. Is this a real bowling pin? I think it is. It certainly is heavy enough to be a real bowling pin. I mean, this thing's heavy. It's a heavy object. But let me know. Is this a real bowling pin? I think it is. I think it's heavy enough to be one. I think they're quite heavy. Just put some really nice tapping on this, isn't it? It's certainly the size of a real bowling pin. I mean, I don't know you see them all the way down there, but it certainly is like, I mean, the scale here is my head. It's taller than my head. And I'm so sorry if you can hear the cats. It's nighttime, which means it's Kitten's awake hours. That would be Link. Link is insane right now, especially since the person he sleeps with is away, which would be my mother. I don't let the cats in my bedroom to go to sleep, mainly because they have a lot of wires and things in my bedroom, for like my TV and stuff, and all the cats chew on wires. But my mother's away right now. It's just me at the house, and he has no one to sleep with, so he is gonna be upset tonight. But he'll get over it. Okay. Do a little bit more of this, yeah. It's actually quite some nice tapping on this literal bowling pin. Okay, let's move on. So, you've all seen Game Controller ASMR. You've all seen it. But have you seen Game Controller ASMR with this? This is the Turbo Pad, the TurboGrafx 16 console. It was way ahead of its time. It used actually cards. They call them HU cards, HU cards. They were the games, and they were almost like business card size cards, that they were about that wide, about that long, and it was a 16-bit console, and it was a direct competitor with tried to be a direct competitor with Nintendo and Sega, but they just kind of got snuffed out. They're getting quite expensive, and the features on the controller are actually interesting. So instead of, I don't know if you can see it, instead of saying start and select, this is run and select. So run the game, I guess. A little dusty there, isn't it? It's not A and B buttons, it's 1 and 2. There's a D-pad, obviously, and I think these are turbo. It was all the rage to have turbo on your controller. So it would make sense that they would just put it in on their standard controller. They were just trying to appeal to everyone, and they didn't. Everyone just went Nintendo and Sega anyways. But I think the switches actually make some quite nice sounds. It's turbo switches. I think it's turbo. That would make sense. It's a TurboGrafx 16, right? Or it's called the Turbo Pad, but I don't know if that was intentional for the turbo functionality on the controller. I do know the console was developed by NEC, or developed, or it's got NEC on it on the console. So, an interesting piece of game history. I have the console. I didn't really feel like digging it out for this video. I feel like the controller should suffice. I actually only have one game for it as well, and it's Bonk's Adventure, which is getting up there in price. So it's not on the level of the NES version, but it is getting up there in price. So yeah, this is definitely an interesting controller. And look at this connector, by the way. Look at that. Oh my god. That's like big. Let's go with that. It's a big connector. I mean, it's very large. I don't know why they connected for the controller to be this big, but whatever. Yeah, you do the hyper tapping thing and all the Tetris players do, except that there's no Tetris on the TurboGrafx, so I don't know. That's how you hyper. Is that even still a thing anymore in classic Tetris tournaments? I don't know. I used to follow classic Tetris tournaments a while ago. I kind of fell out of it fairly quickly because I knew that I would never be that good. It kind of made me upset. But yeah, this controller is very much inspired by the NES controller. 2 buttons, to start and select, or run and select, in this case D-pad. Only thing different is the turbo switches. So let's see where they got their inspiration. obviously it didn't work. Yeah, seriously, look up the games. I mean, it's really ahead of its time how they did the games. Literally like cards instead of cartridges is kind of interesting. And they call them HU cards or Hue cards. I think it was a lot more popular in Japan. I think Japan got a lot more games for it. I don't know how many is in the North American library off the top of my head, but yeah. So isn't this nice though? Buttons are nice and clicky. At least the 1 and 2 buttons are. These switches are quite nice for ASMR too. Okay. Let's move on to something a bit more old-fashioned. By a bit, I mean a lot. So this is a bottle. I don't even know if you can read it from the green screen, but it says White House brand vinegar. It's got a picture of the White House raised surface on the front. And this bottle is from the dates on the bottom. This bottle is from bottle patented March 6th. I can't say that word. 6th. March 6th, 1909. If you can believe it. Yes, this bottle's from 1909. So you got the little pour thing there. So you pour your vinegar. And actually it still has the cork, although the cork has seen better days. Even the little pull thing is coming out. But it's still all there. Yeah. Just gonna tap on this for a little bit. This was, I got this from my great-grandfather's house when he passed away a couple years ago. We were helping cleaning out his house, and when we were cleaning out, one of my relatives was like, just take anything you want. So I took this bottle and some other things, but this bottle's the only thing, and not the only thing I can show, but the only thing that I've got on hand right now. But yeah, he was a World War II veteran, and I got his from the Navy, and I got his trunk, his Navy trunk. That's actually all I got. Even has my his name on it, not mine, his name on it. Just some nice sounds. I'm not gonna tap on this for too long because I don't want to damage it. But just some nice sounds on this White House vinegar bottle. And believe it or not, I don't know, this is kind of hard to believe, but it still has there's like a slight vinegar smell. I know it's hard to believe, considering it's over 100 years old. But yes, it still has a slight vinegar smell. I can't really believe it myself. Because vinegar's that strong, it could last over 100 years. What would that be? So it's 2024 now. It's 2024 minus 1909. 115 years? 115 years? Let me know if my math's correct on that. I'm so terrible at math, it's not even funny, but I think that equates to 115 years this bottle's is old. So I'm gonna put it down before I drop it. So let's move on to something a little bit more modern. This was a recent Goodwill purchase, actually, and this is well, it's a fingerprint magnet, so please don't be disgusted. This is actually a keyboard that is completely metal aside from the keys, and this is actually this metal keyboard. I know the fingerprints are nasty. I gotta get some Windex on this thing or something. But this thing, I can't help it. And anytime I go to touch this thing, it's just fingerprints everywhere. But This is actually a vintage keyboard. You can see the key there, the Windows key. I get that on camera. It's actually a vintage Windows logo, and it's PS2. So isn't that fun? I've never seen something like this before. The keys are actually quite nice too. I've never seen anything like this before. And it was only like $5 I could win. I said, all right, well, I gotta get this. But the weirdest part is there's not a single brand on it. On the back, there's no brand. On the front, there's no brand. There's the hole. They cut out the holes for the caps lock and things like that. But there's not a single brand on it. I have no idea who made this. If anybody knows who made this keyboard, I looked it up and there were some other metal keyboards from the era, but none of them were like this one. So if anybody knows who made this keyboard, please let me know. Genuinely, I'm curious. The keys are quite nice. I'm going to be quite gentle with it. It is vintage after all. Let's type some stuff out, shall we? That sounds alright, yeah. So, holding it now, so I have to type a little slower. I'm only doing with one finger. Switch sides. Don't want the cable hitting the microphone stand. It's going to make an awful noise. Isn't this neat? Like I've said, I've never heard of anything like this. When I saw it in Goodwill, I immediately grabbed it because I'm like, oh, this is just some. I figured, oh, this is just some cheapo knockoff keyboard. And I saw the vintage Windows logo and the PS2 connector, and I'm like, oh my god, what is this? I bought it immediately. Immediately, it had to come home with me. We're going for 17 minutes already. I hope you're all enjoying this video. I'm going to take this time now to say, I don't even know if this is on screen right now, but subscribe. That definitely was not in frame, but please subscribe. It really, really helps. It's completely free, obviously. It's right down there. Big red button. You can't miss it. It's right there. So just go ahead and click that. I know I don't usually do that, but I really think I'm shooting myself in the foot by not promoting that subscribe button. So do me a favor. Could you just subscribe, please? Thank you. Did you do it? Awesome. Thank you. But yeah, this is certainly an interesting keyboard. I have no purpose for this, by the way. I guess I could use this with my... I have a Windows XP build that I've actually considering showing you guys. I actually had a video planned to show you guys my Windows XP era build, but the video wasn't really progressing like the way I wanted it to. I'll revisit it at some point maybe. But yeah, definitely could use it for this. But I mean, you saw this thing. This thing is a fingerprint magnet. If I have to get out a bottle of Windex every time I use the computer, it's just gonna get annoying. So while this is certainly pretty to look at, it's kind of a look, don't touch kind of thing. Because as you can see, somebody definitely touched it, and that was me. And it doesn't look pretty anymore. It's still cool, but it definitely needs a clean. I'm trying to set it down as quietly as possible. Actually, the keys are in pretty good shape. It's just that metal casing. I gotta get some Windex on that. So, the last item, I saved the best for last. Not really. This is kind of like I was kind of searching for a fifth item, and I'm like, sure. So here we go. How do I look? Do I look fresh? Do I look? Get the IKEA logo in that. There we go. Do I look good? Yeah. What do you think? Rate my looks in the comments below. Tell me how I look. 1 to 10. 1 being I look like terrible, and 10 being I am absolutely amazing. Let me know. With the hat, obviously. I'm joking around. This is an IKEA hat, bucket hat, if you will. It's an IKEA bucket hat that is actually made from the material that the IKEA makes their bags out of. They sell these in the store. This is really nothing special. It's like a couple dollars at IKEA. I wanted to get more bookcases for my 1,000 games, and I saw this, and I'm like, I gotta get this hat. So yeah, it just makes some nice crinkling sounds. I kind of switch the top of it there. I'm not putting it on again. Don't ask me to do that. Forget about it. And now another cat is at the door. So sorry. But yeah, I like to. This is probably really loud and probably overpowering my voice. I'm going to set it down to do my outro. Actually, we'll do it for a little bit longer. Go for a little bit longer. Why not? That's enough of that. Well, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope this video helped you to sleep. I'm actually ending the video quite quickly now because my cat is really bothering the door and he's going to interrupt the audio. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe. It's right down there. You can't miss it. Big red button. It's right there. Get it. Got it. Good. Okay. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I certainly hope that this video helped you to relax or fall asleep or whatever. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.